President Biden blaming former President Trump for the Biden border crisis while touting the border as a winning issue for him and Kamala Harris. Listen.
Trump continues to lie about the border. Here's what he won't tell you. Trump killed the strongest bipartisan border deal in the history of the United States. The result of the executive action I took, border encounters have dropped over 50%. In fact, there are fewer border crossings today than when Donald Trump left office.
Well, President Biden did not mention, among many things, the victims of migrant crime, including Rachel Morin, a Maryland mother of 5 who was raped and murdered by an illegal immigrant on a Maryland hiking trail last year. Earlier, we spoke to her family's attorney.
The family is still heartbroken over the fact that this was a preventable death. Had they enforced the rules and the laws at the southern border, Rachel Morin would be alive today. I mean, the Biden administration is playing a game of Red Rover and really saying, Red Rover, send your criminals right over.
The Morin family is meeting with former President Trump this week, and Trump 2024 National Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt joins us now. Karoline, can you believe it? Joe Biden took a victory lap when it comes to the border yesterday. What's your reaction to that?
It was absolutely shameful, and it's a complete lie, and the American people know it. And watching night one of the DNC was like watching an alternative reality. There was no mention of the migrant crime epidemic that has been allowed to transpire because of Kamala Harris's job as border czar, her open border policy. There was no mention of the record high inflation crisis caused by the Harris-Biden administration's economic policies. It's almost like the Democrats want the American people to forget that Kamala Harris has been vice president over the past 4 years and is wholly responsible for the economic, immigration, and foreign policy crises that we face in this great country. And, you know, the Democrats kept saying last night, we don't want to go back. Go back to what? 1.4% inflation, $1.50 gasoline, peace in the Middle East, the most secure border in history. Those are the facts of the Donald Trump administration, and millions of Americans do want to go back to those times.
Here's the challenge as I see it for you in the campaign, Caroline. It's one thing to have different policies and to battle over those policies. But right now, what the Kamala Harris campaign is doing, thanks to surrogates like Joe Biden, is lying because clearly they are responsible for the border crisis. Experts on both sides agree with that. So what does your campaign do when, one, Biden and Harris and all the Democratic Party is now blaming Trump somehow for the border crisis, and the mainstream media is letting them get away with it?
There's no doubt that Kamala Harris is a lying liberal. She is lying about where she stands on the issues. She has consistently supported a ban on fracking. She is responsible for the border crisis. She is responsible for Bidenomics. She is on tape saying she's proud of Bidenomics and she's proud of the economy that she and Joe Biden have created. Well, Americans at home are suffering, and there was no acknowledgement of that pain nor their suffering last night. They are living paycheck to paycheck. Last night, you heard them talk about Kamala Harris's work for working families. Well, working families cannot afford to pay their mortgages on their homes while they are watching illegal immigrants get free housing in American cities. That is the reality of Kamala Harris's America, and it is our job, and we will ensure that every American understands how dangerously liberal Kamala Harris is, that she is responsible for the pain and the problems that our country is facing right now. And we have the best candidate to do that. President Trump is unafraid to actually sit down with the hostile news media and bring the facts directly to them, unlike Kamala Harris, who is now going on day 31 of hiding away from the press. We will continue to keep up the pressure campaign on her.
Well, you mentioned the word dangerous, and today's theme, don't need to tell you, is Make America Safe Again, which is why Donald Trump is heading to Detroit for a crime and safety event. Yesterday, during President Biden's speech, he talked about crime, and he said that he and his administration did a better job fighting crime than the Trump administration. Watch this.
Trump continues to lie about crime in America, like everything else. Guess what? On his watch, the murder rate went up 30%, the biggest increase in history. Now, the murder rate is falling faster than any time in history. Violent crime has dropped to the lowest level in more than 50 years. And crime will keep coming down.
Is that true? What's your reaction to that?
It's absolutely false. According to the National Crime Victimization Survey, violent crime has increased over the past 2.5 years. We have seen car thefts, retail thefts skyrocketing in American cities because of weak on crime policies that Kamala Harris has supported throughout her entire career as a prosecutor, as Attorney General of California, and also as a senator. Kamala Harris was one of the leading voices in the defund the police movement. She is anti-law enforcement. She is pro-criminal. President Trump was a law and order president. That's why we had the safest United States southern border in American history, and we had law and order in American cities. And we will again when he is reelected.
Karoline Leavitt, busy day for you, busy week for you.
Yep.
We appreciate you getting up with us.